Howdy folks, welcome back to another video. I'm just as annoyed as you guys are that I'm still using an iPhone. My camera is still in the warranty claim center. I don't know where it is exactly, to be honest with you, but I just know it's still not here yet. Other than that, I'm actually back at the Maumee River today. You know, I went last weekend, made 2 videos there, but the river was so high, I did not feel like I really got that good of content from here, and I didn't show what the Maumee River, like what it could be, because typically you're catching a lot of fish. So I came back today since Josh said the run was just super hot. The river the river fell like 4 feet, so now it's a much more normal looking river compared to what it was last weekend. He gave me all his equipment to use. Thank you, Josh. He gave me his waders, rod and reel, all his weights, but he said he didn't have any jig heads. So I got the idea last weekend when we were walking the riverbanks. I saw, unfortunately, just a ton of trash. Like, you're combat fishing. You're fishing with people all around you. There's trees everywhere. You're going to break off and snag trees, stuff like that. And because of that, there's fishing line, weights, jig heads everywhere on the shoreline. So before I get to fishing, I'm going to go around and clean up some of the river, get as much, like, basically fishing equipment trash as I can collect, and then go fishing and hopefully catch fish with what I find. Well, looky here, guys. Putting on my waders. And I have found the first jig head. Doesn't exactly have a hook, but that's a start. Looks like as good a bag as any. My Panera Bread bag from the trip up. Wow, this river looks so different than before. All right, well, there's 1 and 2. Alright guys, the shocking part of what I collected in this bag is that it was from a half hour at one of 8 public access points. There's a garbage here, so I'm going to throw most of the line away and keep a lot of the lures, but yeah. And I got maybe 5% of the line that I saw. All these lures are from a half hour of searching at this one access point. I think I have enough to where I should catch a walleye. I even have a good amount of weights. It's kind of sad, to be honest. Everyone just kind of leaves their stuff around. All it takes is really 5 minutes to collect all the garbage from the area that you're fishing, no matter how messy it is. It's the people, the fishermen using the resources. It's up to them to really keep the river clean. Oh yeah, there's a lot more in there too. Because this is all from fishermen. I realize a lot of these are snags that people can't really get out, but I mean, it's just sad to see all this in 100, 150 yards of bank. So what I'm going to do now that I've collected more than enough lures that I could ever need and cleaned up a little bit of the garbage, I'm now going to go try to catch fish, some Walters on these lures. Okay, so first off, excuse the fishing mess that's in my back seat right now. Got just a couple rods and lures, but it's kind of cool. What you guys just saw was actually Fort Meigs, which is, I had to look it up, but it's from the War of 1812. You also saw a good amount of people out here. Now, I have my own weights, I have my own leader material, but just to make the challenge that much more challenging, per se, why don't I try to use a weight and some leader line, because I have a good amount of it from the garbage I collected earlier. If you guys haven't watched my previous Maumee River videos, this is the Maumee River Walleye Run. It's the southwest corner of Lake Erie. Just hundreds of thousands, I mean, I'm pulling that number out of thin air, but hundreds of thousands of walleye move in this muddy, shallow, rocky, swift river to spawn, and thousands of anglers move into the river to follow them. What you got going on is a braid main line attached to hunk of lead with a swivel so that it doesn't spin your line up when it's rolling down the river, and then that attaches to 3 to 4 feet of fluorocarbon and a floating jig head. Now, the weights I grabbed were actually too small. The key to catching fish on this river is getting a good drift. You can't get a good drift, like drift meaning like it's bouncing the bottom at the correct speed without the correct weight size. So these are all 3/4, so that's what I got to be using. All right, we're taking it one step further. We're not just using the jig head. Oh no. I'm gonna bring the extra spool of line, but I'm gonna start by also using some of the leader I found, because why not? All right, tying the finishing touches, tying a nice Palomar knot, and now we have our Maumee River recycled fishing setup. If I catch some Walters on this, even a big one, it'll be 10 times more rewarding. 10 times more rewarding. All right, I think I got a good pile of jig heads. I'm just gonna put it in this bag of soft plastics that I found. I don't know who would leave an entire bag of soft plastics, but thank you. Now we are ready to tackle these Maumee River walleyes. Got about a 10-minute walk, so I will see you guys down there. Oh, look, this guy's got one right there. That's a nice one. Picked a good spot, I guess. All right, now what you want to do, cast about, apologize for the wind also, cast about 11 o'clock and just let it drift to 2, 3 o'clock. And the idea is that the floating jig head behind the sinker, oh, he's got one too. Floating jig head behind the sinker, walleye should eat it. I better be able to catch one. That guy just caught one, and then that guy's got one. How long you guys been out?
Couple hours.
Couple hours?
Yeah.
You got another?
Yeah.
Is it just starting to pick up?
Yeah, just started.
Because I heard it's been a little slow, but I'm not watching you catch two, and I'm thinking otherwise. Ooh, there's another nice walleye. And he's got one down there.
Probably lose it.
I gotta pick it up. My recycled lures aren't doing the job. So apparently the bite's really good here in the morning and then late at night. It is, because these are all pre-spawn, a lot of spawning walleye. Like I saw one just rolling right there. These fish are spawning, that's what they run up in the river to do. So a lot of times there can be a midday lull in which they don't really bite. Well, I go and pick up a bunch of trash and use that in my setup. And the only thing I used that was new was a lead swivel, and I just casted and was reeling back nothing because the new swivel broke. Everything old that I picked up off the river stayed intact and the swivel broke, so now I gotta retie. Here's the fun of the Maumee River. You retie a lot. All right, you know what? I've been fishing here in this spot for about an hour and I have not caught a single fish, had a single fish, anything. And I keep watching everyone over there catch fish, so I am going to do the smart thing and relocate. There's one. Definitely made the right call moving. First couple minutes, the new spot, I got one on the recycled lure. First Walter. Unfortunately, I don't have a net. And that's why you need a net. It was short. Short one anyway. They have to be 15 inches in order to keep and hooked in the mouth. That guy was a little bit less than 15. He might have been, but he was definitely too close to have kept. But that's a good sign. Move spots. Literally first couple casts got a fish, so I'm very pleased. And on the recycled lure, you don't need to buy jig heads, just walk on the riverside. Oh, this is a fish. Now it's fighting. Okay. Okay. Thought this was a snag, but it's a fish. Thought it was in a rock. Let me see if I can get this guy to net it. Hey, could you net this for me? Could you net this for me? Could you net this for me? Yeah. I don't have a net. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's in the belly. I snagged that one. Thank you. Gotcha. Thank you. I don't think that guy spoke English, but he was helpful. That's a bummer. That one was snagged. You can't keep snagged fish. There's one. I felt that one bite. Oh, that does not feel like a walleye. He's coming at me so fast. Yeah, it's a sucker, that's why. The first fish to eat my jig head is a sucker. Well, that sucker was hungry. I could tell immediately when that fish hit it, it wasn't a walleye. Alright, so we got 2 walleye and a sucker on one of the recycled fishing lures. I would love to catch a big one on this lure. God, that was coordinated. My hands are so cold, I can't even do anything right now. Whew. Should have brought a hat and gloves. That would have been the smart thing to do. Who looks at the forecast before fishing? That's just a dumb idea, right? Totally overrated. All right, it's time to go. You know how I know it's time to go? That's me moving my hands as much as I possibly can. I can't even tie a knot again, and I broke off. So that's gonna about do it for me. I can't help but feel like I lost, because I'm watching all these people. They're catching maybe, like, this big group, maybe a fish every 15 minutes. That guy's got a limit of 4. Most of them have 2 to 3 on their stringer, and I just suck, I guess. 2 walleye and 1 sucker in 2.5, 3 hours of fishing is no bueno. But for right now, my warm car, little seat heater action is something I'm very much looking forward to.